Hello everybody and welcome to another brand new episode here on Fs25 Riverbend Springs, and we all hate Walter. How it all with Mr. Bale. With Mr. Bale in the corner there. We'll have to go back and get that one. So you'll remember from the end of the last episode I said that we would carry on with yesterday on the game, and we would go to the other field just over there and collect the bales, and then we would skip the day forward and then be into today. So I did that, and I did initially record the continuation of that episode, or the beginning of the new episode as promised. But then I emptied the bales into the straw shed, and that set off a chain reaction of a lot of things. So what happened was that it threw all kinds of lure call stacks into my log, which then made my game really jumpy and laggy and horrible and rubbish. And in the game, or in the recording that I was doing, I basically explained what I was going to do was I was going to turn the game off. And what I would do is I would turn the game off and reload it, and we'd just carry on from where we were. Now, when I did turn the game off and I went to my desktop, I then went into my folder, had a little listen to the recording, had a little watch to see if I could figure out what I did wrong to throw up all the errors that I did when I haven't had no errors before that. And couldn't see anything, but the one thing that was very apparent was that from the point of the errors being thrown up in my log to the point where I ended the video, all the microphone was able to get of me talking was you get the idea. So I had to completely delete it and obviously start the day from here. So as I say, it's a little unfortunate because I did sort of kind of do what I'd said I was going to do at the end of the last episode, but then the errors, for whatever reason, got thrown up into the log, and I couldn't do nothing thereafter. So as I say, I've started from here. But anyway, we've sold the wood, as you just saw, and we've got no more combining to do. So we'll be able to sell, just turn the engine off because otherwise waste diesel, sell the wood chips, but we'll leave them there just in case we do need the trailer for something else. I don't think we will, but you never know, right? And we'll just check the food. 36,000 litres, or 36,711 litres, still only 20 cows. I'm quite desperate for them to upgrade because obviously that'll push us up to 40. Now we've got no manure in here. Why is this? We've got 11 litres. Oh, we spread some, didn't we, on that other field? Yeah, I remember. So that's fine. So yeah, I'm just hoping that, as I say, they quickly, breed, because we need thingy. Right, how much slurry have we got? We have got 51,083 litres. Not a great deal, to be fair. I'd like that to go up a little bit more. Mind you, we should. Do we get slurry in this one? I think we do. We do not. Darn it. That was a little bit of an oversight on my behalf, wasn't it? Bugger. I didn't realise that. I thought all cow barns came with slurry. Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit of an oversight on my behalf then, really. So food 30,000, yeah, meadow 42,000, but they won't eat that now. Health is 100%, straw is 27,000, yeah, so we don't need to do nothing with the cows today, which is good. So what we're going to do is, as I've walked past it for the third time, we need to get into this tractor. Now, this tractor for us was what set us off in the big league. We got that tractor quite early on out the sales, and it's been a good tractor, and I've really, sort of enjoyed using it. But, well, it's been replaced. And it's been replaced with a tractor that's more horsepower. And we're going to need more horsepower. As we start growing, we're going to need more horsepower. Those two tractors are staying for now anyway, but they are staying for quite the foreseeable future because they're two really good tractors. But this tractor, our main workhorse tractor, is being upgraded because, as I say, the tractor that I have bought, and I have bought the tractor already, is more horsepower than that one, so we do need it. I would have liked to have gone tracks, but tracks don't give me the versatility that tyres do, so it is another wheeled tractor. Eventually, once we get really, really big, we'll have a track tractor or two track tractors that do the field work. But until that day arrives, as I say, we've got this one, but as I say, we need to now take this to the store and get it sold. And we also need to take the seed drill, because although I haven't bought a seed drill yet, I am going to buy a seed drill because this seed drill is just no longer suitable for our operation. There goes my keyboard with its weird "I'll turn on my own, thanks very much" thing going on. I really should get a new keyboard. I explained in the last episode that it really is knackered. There's massive chunks missing out of it. Most of my keys are blank, i.e. the right sort of Tipex writing, as I call it, on them, telling you which each key letter is. Yeah, most of them are blank. But luckily, because I write stories, as I've told you before, I'm really into my writing and what have you. Because I write stories, I do instinctively know which letter is which, or which key is what letter. So it doesn't really make no difference to me. But the other day my brother was trying to use it, and he was like, he goes, "Well, it's got no letters on it." And I said, "Of course it has. All those keys are letters." And he was like, "Yeah, but they don't actually tell you what they are." I said, "Well, I don't need to tell you what they are. I already know what they are." He said, "Well, you might know what they are." He said, "But I don't know what they are." I said, "Well, learn." So that was about as helpful as I got, that was. But yeah, so never mind. Anyway, it will now be revealed what tractor we bought. Well, yes, we bought a Massey Ferguson. I have to confess. So, when I worked on the farm, I had a Challenger as my main working tractor. You know, as I say, as my main working tractor, I had a Challenger. So I did all my ploughing on that, all my drilling on that, and any other sort of main cultivation field work, I had a Challenger. I had a John Deere tractor, wheel tractor. I had two John Deere wheel tractors. I had the 85. Was it the 8530? No, it was the 8345R. The 8530 was the one that they replaced the 8345R tractor that I had, which is a really nice tractor, really nice tractor. I also had a 7530 John Deere that I did most of my road hauling on. So the big tractor would be used for ploughing if it was too wet for my Challenger, and field work if it was too wet for my Challenger. Switch over to the big John Deere, we could carry on going. The 7530 was the tractor that I did all of my, as I say, sort of road work on. It had a 56k gearbox in it, and yeah, it was an absolutely awesome tractor. Then at the end of last year, the farm that I worked on around those machines, where Kerry works, she invited me over to the farm and to sort of have a ride with her for the day. because she was out and about doing things and delivering and whatever else. And as you know, last year I went up because they replaced my Challenger finally with a tractor that she wanted, and she wanted the vent equivalent to the MT765 that I had. I also had an MT865. So if I was going somewhere, and say, for example, we used to go and do a lot of ploughing for a farm in Norfolk that would have 2, 3, 4,000 acres of ploughing in blocks, and they would just want it every 2 years. They'd want that block ploughed. So as the combines was getting the crop off the field, or the potato harvesters, or whatever was in those fields, I would be following up behind with my Challenger. So I used to take my big Challenger down there, and I used to have the 21 furrow Gregor Beeson reversible plough on there, and I would be able to get through all of that ploughing in, I don't know, I can't remember now. To be on the safe side, I'll say 2 months, but I would have it done before then, because as I say, I would work till midnight, 1 o'clock every night, to get it done. And I used to stay up there as well. The farm had well, it was nothing more really than a motorhome on the farm, and I used to just stay in that. It was quite nice. I mean, it wasn't dingy or grubby or anything. It was all right, but I'm pleased it was the summer. I'll say that much, because it was bloody cold in there in the summer. But anyway, so Kerry invited me up last year. She had a few places she was going. She was going to Great Yarmouth and that, delivering grain and what have you. And she had been given the 9S 425 to try. And she said to me, "Do you want to ride up there?" I'm literally going up there. She'd like, "We'll deliver, we'll get something to eat, we'll drive back, and then that's it. I've only got one load to take." And I went up there. Now, my belief is that Challenger and now Vent, although they are the same company, obviously, but Challenger at the time made the best crawlers. Class made the best combines. John Deere made the best wheel tractors. This is just my opinion. I drove a lot of the tractors, and these were the ones that I preferred, in each category, sort of thing. Until I went on that. And now, this is my all-time favourite tractor. I absolutely love this tractor. I think it is one of the prettiest looking tractors there is on the market. And honestly, the power of the thing is unbelievable. It was astonishing how much power this tractor had when we took it, and very, very comfortable. And one thing that always gets overlooked on every tractor is the I call it the passenger seat, but its actual name is the buddy seat. And they always get overlooked, and they're always hard, and they're not very nice to sit on, for sort of long periods. But the one in the Massey Ferguson was lush. It was proper. Going down to Great Yarmouth and back again in it, absolutely no problem whatsoever. There was plenty of room for us both. Do you know what I mean? It was really, really comfortable. And this has become my favourite wheel tractor. And I'm lucky that we have a Chandler's just down the road from where I live. And obviously with work, we used to get all of our sort of Challengers and Vents and stuff like that from Chandler's. And I went down there and I said to them just before Christmas, probably about October, November time, I said, "I know it's a bit cheeky." And they went, "What?" I said, "Can I have a little drive in the 9S?" And he sort of looked at me and he goes, "You're right, that's very cheeky." And I said, "I know." I said, "But can I?" I said, "Look," I said, "I absolutely love that tractor." I said, "I think it's absolutely gorgeous." Oh, do you know what? I was at the bloody shop and I forgot to buy the drill. It's because I was talking to you lot. So we go back and get it. As I say, nice quick tractor, so it won't take long. And yeah, they let me have a little go in it. Oh, it's absolutely awesome, the tractor. I absolutely love it to bits. Honestly, actually, that's what happened when my game. Well, no, it was still okay. Yeah, so that's the reason why I've purchased this tractor, because I absolutely love it. And this over the New Holland, no contest. It was this all the way. I sort of normally hold back on buying John Deere's, because I always buy like my own saves and that. John Deere, but on Homewold at the minute, where I'm doing my dairy slash arable, I must admit most of my tractors on their events. But if anyone knows of a 9S for FS22, let me know, because I would love to buy it, or download it at least. Right, now there is a drill that I do want to try, so I'm going to hire it before I buy it wherever the drills are. There we go. It's this one down here. So my intentions are I'm probably going to be buying that one, but I just want to try that one. I want to see whether Giants have actually corrected the drill and actually made the markers long enough. If not, we'll try that one, just because I really love Verdestat seed drills. I really like that one. It's a very pretty drill. That one is it is based off a real model, but it's quite an old model, whereas that's the new design, and it's 8 meters. That one's obviously 9, but this drill, it looks nice. It's just not a Verdestat, so I do prefer Verdestat, but it looks nice. And as I say, like, we will go for this one, but I just want to try that. I just want to try this, so I'm going to lease it just so as I can see. Hang on, yeah, I'm going to lease it just to see whether they have actually improved the markers and actually set them at the right distance, because I don't believe for a second they have. And it's a very easy test. We just need a field with a bit of stubble, and we've got plenty of them at the moment. I have kind of contemplated going direct seeding and not bothering with any cultivation whatsoever, just because, again, I've never done it, and I just wanted to kind of see what it was like. But that does look sweet, doesn't it? That on the back of that honestly, that is your dream pairing right there. Oh, it looks as if they may have improved the markers. See that? So in FS19, this drill was a 6 meter drill. In FS22, they then made that an 8 meter drill, but they left the 6 meter markers on it. So it meant that you were 2 meters short, so you was overlapping by 2 meters every time. So I want to see whether they've actually put the 8 meter markers on. Now, if they have, this is going to be the drill that I pretty much use all the way through FS25, and I probably won't be playing on the FS25 too much because I'm not a huge fan of the game, if I'm honest. It's not the best version of the game. 22 or 19 for me is the best version of the game, but all we need to do is we don't need to put no seed or anything in there. Oh, I've left 2 bales. Oh well, I say we'll come back and get them, but all I have to do is just lower the drill, lower the markers, scan out a little bit. Now, it might cultivate, it might not, I don't know. But we'll marker up. In actual fact, I'll tell you what we will do. We'll go into this field and we'll do it properly, because if I can't drive entirely straight, then it's not going to work. So we'll take out the human error in the actual. Do you know what? Honestly, James. Right, let's do that again. Right. So we will lock on, Tommy, and then we will put it down. And then we will lift it up, and then we will come round. That isn't going to be a fair thingy, is it? So what we'll do is we'll go over here, and the reason that isn't going to be a fair thingy is because it was overlapping on the headland, so it was never going to be a fair test. So what we would, I suppose we could have done just round the field actually. I do apologise, I probably should do this stuff off camera, but I do like to just try this stuff out. Right, that's a lot better. And then what we'll do is we'll just come back down the other breed, and then we'll see whether it's in line. Needn't go all the way down, obviously. We'll know long before. That's not far out. I've got to be honest, that is not far out. If you look in cat, oh no, that's still a little bit out actually. That is still a little bit out, but it's not too bad. it's not too bad. It's a shame that they can't get it, that they, again, just can't get the markers in the right place. But anyway, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse. I'm going to get the McCormick McCormick or the Steyr on the cultivator. We'll get it cultivating, and then we'll come in behind with the seed drill. And what we're going to do is those 3 fields down there are going to become all seed rape, and after that we will see where we're at and what we're doing. The other field might just go down to wheat again, but we've no need. I want that one. Wherever I put it, there it is. We've no need to go for spring crops really this time around, because as I say, that there is there's just no need that we need to do it, because all we're growing these crops for at the moment is the straw. So as I say, we can get him in that field or in those fields, get them cultivated, and then we'll be in with the seed drill. So I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse, as I say, and then we'll get that done and see where we're at. We'll probably be doing some rolling then, but I want to get these fields done and out of the way, just because, as I say, there's no need to make them last through. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
there we go. What I've done is I've caught up, obviously, again with the worker cultivating. So I'm just going to let him cultivate that entire field before I drill it in behind. Just because if the way you have to do that field, the way he's doing it on the angle, means that I'll end up doing the up and down bits. Excuse me. I'll end up doing the up and down bits, but when I come to do the headland, because of how the shape of the field is, I won't match up completely, which then means I'll have to go round sort of like a really tiny bit just to catch everything else that I don't catch. So I thought, well, while he's doing that, I'll come into the fields and I'll get some rolling done. So that's what I thought. I thought, well, I'll as I say, I'll come into the field and we'll get the rolls going, and we'll eventually catch ourselves up again, and then we can sort of carry on then once he's finished with our drilling. But yeah, it's going very well at the moment. The canola's in. Decided to put barley in up there because it was wheat on both of those fields last year, so thought just for something a little bit different we'll go for barley. Like I say, the canola that we put in, so yeah, that's been put in with a view to canola being worth quite a bit of money. So when we come to sell it, it will obviously help us to move forward a little bit. And then the barley up there is just, if you like, it's nothing more really up there than a break crop. So it's just to change the wheat a little bit. But I mean, we could have gone for second wheats up there if we wanted to. It wouldn't have really made any difference really. As I say, on a real farm, you would be quite happy to go second, third, fourth wheat. So as I say, but I just thought we'd do barley just for something a bit different. But yeah, otherwise going very well. It's looking good that we'll get all of this done in this episode, and then we will, excuse me, then we'll be able to crack on with the grass cutting in the next episode and getting the hay and the silage done, and getting ourselves ready for winter really. I know it's only September now in the game, but it will soon come around, and it will soon be upon us. And as I say, we hopefully we'll get plenty of slurry and also manure, and we'll be able to get them spread on these fields and get it fertilized. So we'll also probably have some spraying of the weeds to do because we haven't ploughed these fields obviously. So we'll have that to look at as well. But again, that'll be for the future. That might be next month if the weeds come through. So yeah, we'll wait and see, I suppose. But as I say, it's not going too bad. It's going all right, and I'm very happy with the way the farm is taking shape. I'm very happy that we're making Walter's life as miserable and as difficult as we can. So at the moment, we seem to be hitting all of our objectives. So the seed drill in the end, I decided that the marker being still not quite. So I think they have extended it because it was. I'm just trying to think. It was so short that it was the left-hand side, I think, of the bonnet that was running down the marker line. Obviously, it should be a centre thing. And then if they got it too far, it'll be the right-hand side that will then start to run down the mark. But yeah, so whilst I think they have extended it, I think they've only extended it probably about half a metre. So it's still not, running true. Honestly, it locked on to that and then just changes. Really frustrating. I hope having the in-game GPS doesn't mean that Whoopster can't do his version of GPS, because his version of GPS was Not as clever as this one in terms of it couldn't do the headlands, but at the same time, it was so much easier to use. It was literally just a case of do your A to B lines and then just press the button each time you were going down the breed, as you would in real life. Just press the button so the tractor connected to the line, and then just leave it. As I say, with this one, like, it's one of those sort of things they've put in where they've not quite, sort of done it entirely brilliantly. I mean, we're okay here because it's done straight lines, which is a miracle within itself with this GPS. I mean, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, go and see my short that I made before Christmas, where I was stone picking in one of the fields on Riverbend. Not on this series, when I was sort of just taking an initial look at Fs25. And honestly, the course that it got me to go through one of the fields, it was just like, it was sort of straight ahead, then kind of like a really sharp right, follow a bit of a straight ahead, sharp left, right, left, and then we was out the other end of the field. And honestly, like, it was awful. It was genuinely awful. And someone said to me, "Oh, it's easy to fix. Just put it on 90-degree angles." So yesterday I had the same thing on when I was just having a look at Calmsden, and I was combining the field behind the start farm, or next to the start farm, and I got exactly the same GPS pattern where it was left, and sort of then right, and then straight out the other end. So I then changed it to 90, and what I got then was like a half circle GPS course. So I don't know, like, and of course straight away it just put me off. I just thought, this isn't realistic. A GPS chooses the straightest line from A to B. That's literally the point. In the same way that a sat nav, although it's obviously not a straight line, but a sat nav chooses the most direct route from point A to point B. And that's all a GPS is right. This is point A. We need to get to point B, which is the other end of the field, but we need to get there in a completely straight line. And as I say, it's just another one of those things that just has been implemented, and it's quite good. And when it works, it is exceptional. I will give him it, but there are a lot of things that are just, again, not quite right with it. And obviously I've mentioned the ploughing before, and different things like that. And it's just, every time I play the game, something really, I don't mind the big stuff being problematic. It, like the ploughing, in a way, I don't really mind. It's a new concept, but it felt like it was a last minute thing, had it added into the game, and it plays like a last minute thought. It plays and operates like it was, as I say, a sort of afterthought of, oh, the game's ready. Oh, ploughing, we can do that, and then they've like literally put it in, and then not even sort of tested it completely, fully, properly. Because for sure that if someone had have implemented that as a mod, Giants would have rejected it. And said no, it needs, cleaning up, and it needs to be able to function properly. I'm almost certain that it would have been rejected as a mod and said, nah, it's not quite right. But anyway, there we go. It is, I guess, what it is. But as I say, it's just there's just too many things at the moment, too many fundamentally basic things that we've had in the game since 2009, like the grass now can literally bog down pretty much any tractor once you've cut it, and you're driving on the cut grass. It literally bogs down most tractors now. That's never been a thing. That has never been a thing ever in Farming Simulator. I'm using 1950s machineries, obviously, on my 1950s series. not a problem. Cut the grass, yeah, drive over it. It's only cut grass. Talking about, as it should be. It behaves the way it should do. And as I say, we're just I don't know, this as I say, it's the simple things that are really bugging me with it. If they'd come out and said, like afterwards, oh well, yeah, with the ploughing, it was a new concept. We wasn't really sure. There's only so much testing we could do, and we kind of needed people to do it in the game, in real game situations, and then kind of go from there. But they haven't. They've come out and said, oh, it's dynamic forest. Well, it isn't. I've proved it isn't, because I can actually walk in the furrow level with the ground. I don't actually fall into the furrow. I literally just walk across thin air. So that's not dynamic at all, because if it was dynamic, i.e. it was cutting a hole into the ground, you would fall into the hole. So that's that's a big indication that it isn't quite as they sort of say it is, and yeah, it's just at the moment I just find it very poor, and I love Farming Simulator, and I would never criticize Farming Simulator. Like I say, FS sort of. I wasn't that keen on FS11, but it was playable, but I wasn't that keen on the actual game itself. FS13, I absolutely loved FS13. I thought that was an absolutely wonderful game right from the off. Same with FS15, the same with FS17, same with FS19, and the same with FS22. From the get-go, they were wonderful games. They were very enjoyable to play. They had niggly little bits that needed just patching and sorting out. Nothing major, nothing that made my experience of playing the game, sort of a bad one where I thought I can't play this. This game, like I say, if it wasn't for Market Gardener and it wasn't for this series, this game, I wouldn't have played it since November 13th, a day after I got the game, when I played it all day that day. I didn't do no recording, just played the game, got used to the feel of it, did whatever, and like I say, if it wasn't for the two series that I'm doing, I wouldn't even bother. I just wouldn't bother. I've not been impressed from day one, really. As I say, and I've said it a million times, and you probably all get a bit fed up with me, what have you. And I know I've had a couple of messages in, sort of shorts that I've done of things that I've found with the game that, are wrong and that. And people have gone, oh, you're just hating on the game for the fun of it. And well, I'm not, because I love this game. This not this particular game, but FS, Farming Simulator as a whole is what I do every day. That is, it's the reason why I get up in the morning. If I didn't have Farming Simulator, I don't know what I'd do with my time. I really don't know what I'd do with my time. I mean, who knows? Maybe I would be a successful writer now. I don't know. I guess I'd have to find something to fill the time with. But this game is my motivation for getting up in the morning. At sort of, well, I mean, it varies. I mean, it's from sort of usually about 4 o'clock onwards. I don't sleep all that well, and also as well, like obviously with my heart condition and that, laying down does cause my heart to stop a lot. So I have to keep getting up and moving around and then get back into bed. And like I say, usually by about 4 o'clock, some mornings, like this morning, for example, I did sleep until, I think it was about half 4, quarter to 5. And that's sort of a lay-in for me, and I was, sort of okay with that and what have you. So it is difficult, but it's the way my life is. But I get up in the mornings, and I don't, sort of have no negativity around, the circumstances and that. Why? Because I think, right, let's get a cup of tea made, and let's get on farming, and let's get going. It's an early start. let's crack on. And whether it's I start recording at that time of the day, which I have started to do now, and then I sort of go off. But so I'm not hating on the game in terms of the actual franchise itself, but this particular game, the same as FS11, I'm just not that impressed with it. FS11 was the introduction of cows, and the building, the fact that they sort of glitch through buildings, and they walk through, literally anywhere in the cow barn, walk through walls, walk through gates and fences and what have you. And I kind of thought, well, yeah, that'll be patched out. We're now in FS25, so we're now like 13, 14 years later, and animals are still glitching through the walls and stuff, and I just sort of think, why is that still a thing? Why is that? And it's the same with this game and the new technologies that have come in. Essentially, they've done the whole, because for years they told us, oh, deformable terrain on the engine isn't possible. It's too much of a resource drain, etc., etc., etc. Then Terraform comes out, an absolutely genius idea where they put the in-game editor on buckets for forklifts and excavators and stuff like that, and it meant that you could dig the ground, it meant that you could pile the ground up, it meant all of these things you were able to do just because they managed to get the in-game editor to work on buckets and stuff like that, so you could dig hole. I mean, I had FS22, the amount of saves that I played for myself where literally I would start off as a small farmer, I'd want to expand, so I would be digging new roads, I would be digging holes, I would be digging and leveling the ground, I mean, even Britain's farm, where I built that farm, I didn't put it on camera because I didn't really think that it would be that interesting to see, but I leveled all that with excavators and shoveled all of the ground up and put it in trailers, took the trailers away, sold all the stones and different things, for lime and what have you, and did that, and as I say, like, they've tried to do a very similar thing with plows, but it's just not very good. But anyway, that's enough of me, sort of whinging and moaning. And this comes on the back of another 2 crashes since I've been playing. Hopefully I'll edit it all out properly so that you guys won't sort of see where the crashes have been, and one or two other little problems that I've had recording today. So it's been a difficult day on the game so far. Normally I experience 1 to 2 crashes per sort of recording, but today it's just been continual. Before people say no, I've got no new mods in that I haven't had before. Nothing has changed. I've just loaded the game in, but for some reason today the game has not worked all that well. But as I say, right, I'm going to crack on with a little bit more time lapse. We'll get the rolling done, we'll get the drilling done, and then as I say, we'll meet again then at the end of all of that. So I'll see you in a little bit. Bye for now. So there we go. This game has just highlighted perfectly what I'm talking about. Did you see the shape of the GPS course that it had for me to go across this field? It was the half circle that I'd been talking about, honestly. So in the end, I've had to resort to doing it with the markers, which I don't mind. That's why I have drills with markers, because, and the main reason at work why I had, why I was one of the very few that kept the markers on my drill, was because if the GPS went down, i.e. the satellites, lost signal or whatever, I could just carry on. Whereas the other lads, it would stop them. We had 3 main drills. All of them were Verdestat. We had a 6 meter one for obviously our smaller fields, and then we had an 8 and a 9 meter one. Mostly, I had the 8 meter one, but I did operate the 9 meter one as well. But yeah, as I say, on the drill that I mostly had, which was the 8 meter, which was considered by by the farm and by the lads to be my drill, I kept the markers on my drill. And as I say, that was just in case the GPS went down, or in case I made a mistake or whatever, the mark was there. I could carry on. Hence the reason why in Farming Simulator, I always use my markers, because with Whoopster's GPS system, if I caught the wrong button and reset it, i.e. made the little A point come up, it didn't matter. I had the markers. I could literally just, do the reset the course, and I knew I would still be working out okay a rest across the field, because I was just following the marker until I did enough, till I did the 15 meters to get the GPS course. And just then, obviously, it's dug me out again. If I'd have had the 8 meter drill there with that, that would have been terrible, because I would have overlapped huge chunks of that. I overlapped as it was. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I didn't, but I've got to be honest. I've been sat here and it's been winding me up, and I've been fuming, because I thought, well, that just highlights perfectly what I've been saying about the GPS. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here, because, as I say, it has really annoyed me, and I'm going to have to go off for a little while and just sort of regather myself. I know I shouldn't allow it to get me like this, but as I say, it has really annoyed me. So I'm going to leave the episode here. Thank you all very much for watching, and as I say, I'd always say I really appreciate your views, each and every one that does view. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next one. But as I say, from a very wound up Mr. Jimmy, I'm going to go and take all my frustrations out on Walter, and that just simply can't be aired in a video. So I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.